Greetings, beautiful soul, and welcome to my channel, The Optimist Hub. My name is Yanga, and today's video, I will be taking you guys through 25 lessons that I have learned in the year 2025. Now, some of these are not necessarily new. In fact, they have resurfaced, or shall I say, have reinforced themselves into my life. Without any further ado, but before I get into this video, first, please do ensure that you subscribe down below and join the Optimist Hub. The Optimist Hub is all about personal development and self-help, and if this is your cup of tea and you'd like to indulge in more, please do ensure that you subscribe down below and give this video a massive thumbs up if you find it to be valuable to you. And also please do share the video with your family and friends and everybody else. And with that said, let's get into today's video. Now, the first lesson that I have learned in 2025, I actually didn't have this on my list, but I'm going to start with it. That is, consistency creates visibility, which attracts opportunities. Literally, I actually remember making a video on TikTok, literally worded like this. When you are consistent with something, it literally creates visibility. It makes room for you in spaces that you never thought you would ever enter. It makes room for you and space on tables that you never thought you could sit at. And once it creates that visibility, it attracts opportunities. When you are consistent with whatever it is that you're doing, you will be seen. And once you are seen, you will be given the opportunities. The opportunities will find their way to you, and also you will be led and guided to these set opportunities. So that is the first lesson that I have learned in 2025, or rather that has reinforced itself in my life. Now, the second lesson, get out of your comfort zone. Literally, there is no room for you to grow in there. Okay, the comfort zone is limiting. I think if I had decided to stay in my comfort zone this year, I would not have grown as much as I have. And this is not necessarily speaking with regards to this platform, which I have grown. Thank you again to each and every single soul that has subscribed. I really appreciate it. But in life in general as well, I have grown, I have expanded. The minute I decided to get out of my comfort zone because I realized that there was no room for me to grow in there, is the minute that I started growing, is the minute that I started expanding. And so that is my second lesson. My third lesson is listen to your gut feeling. Always listen to your intuition. I've been more in tune with my intuition this year. I've listened more, and I think, yes, we refer to it as the inner voice, but really it also is God's voice. It is the higher power, using that intuition as a form of communication. And so listening to it has helped me. Look, there are certain things that I feel like if I hadn't listened to my gut feeling, I probably would have been led astray. And so again, I do believe that because I listen to my gut feeling, my intuition, my inner voice, I am exactly where I'm meant to be, because it was not just my inner voice, but it's also the higher power using it as a form of communication. And so that is my third lesson for this year. My fourth is listen to your body. Your body speaks in so many ways. The biggest way in which it speaks is through discomfort. It is through a dis-ease, right? So if you are uncomfortable or some form of illness, whatever it is, listen to your body. It literally tells you, take care of it. Be mindful of what you put into your body. I think there's a quote that says we are what we eat, right? And so we need to be very mindful of whatever it is that we put into our body. Reinforce boundaries. Now, I think I even have a video on setting boundaries. Not so long ago, I actually recorded that video. Setting boundaries has helped me a lot this year. It really is about honoring thyself. The minute you set boundaries for yourself and you reinforce these boundaries and you cement these boundaries, you are honoring thyself. You are putting yourself first. And I think, yes, we live in a society that actually shuns or even looks down on, looking out for self and dresses it in the form of selfishness. And I think, look, sometimes it's okay to put self first, because like I said in that video, if you are not in a good space, if you don't put yourself first, if you're doing things for people as opposed to how you feel about doing the things, you are dishonoring yourself. And so you won't show up as the best version of yourself when you are dishonoring yourself, because you're not happy, right? You're not going to be doing this thing from the goodness of your heart, whatever it is. And so setting boundaries has been another lesson that I have learned. I have learned to say no a lot more this year, and I don't even feel guilty about it. First, I'd feel guilty. I'd always just want to help. But now if I don't have the emotional and the mental capacity for it, simply just say no. And it's okay for me. Yes, for the person who's receiving it, it may not be as okay. But again, if I am going to dishonor myself, then I am literally disregarding myself. And why would I do that, right? Okay, guys, I also think I'm losing count, but I will put the numbers on the screen if I have lost count. The next lesson is sometimes it's okay to let go. It's okay to let go. Once you have outgrown something, it's okay. It's okay to let go of certain things, of certain environments, of certain people, friendships, connections, whatever it is, it's okay to let go. Everything is seasonal, right? And so when the timeless season has presented itself, and once the thing becomes uncomfortable, whatever it is, when it becomes thorny, just honestly let go. Easier said than done. Okay, it's not as easy to let go, because letting go comes with the process of mourning whatever it is that you need to let go. But allow that to happen. Some losses are meant to happen. We're not supposed to harbor things that have reached the expiry date, right? If a thing has gotten to a point where it has to be let go, let go. Let go and let God. And so another lesson that I have learned this year is rejection is a form of redirection. Listen, receiving rejection is not nice. Of course, we're human. We are going to feel it. And at first, it's not going to come through, or rather, you're not going to see it from a positive light, because again, you are human and you're meant to feel. You're meant to feel, right? We shouldn't always shut down certain feelings that we have, but it is also very important to understand that things happen as they should, right? And so things unfold as they should. And so I am a firm believer in, once I am rejected anyway, whatever it is that I'm trying to do, I've shot many shots with regards to the Optimist Hub. I've knocked on a couple of doors. I have been rejected. That's okay. Yes, it stings, it hurts, but it is also a form of redirection. There's some attempts that I've made that have gone through, and acceptance is then obviously an approval from the higher power as well, to say, yes, this is in alignment with your purpose and the path in which you're walking on. Whereas rejection for me is the higher power saying, no, this is not where you're supposed to be. And so sometimes I do actually even say, thank you, God. Thank you, higher power, for this rejection that I have received, because I know that it was not meant for me. Had I forced things, then this would have not unfolded the way it has been predestined by you, and so I need to be accepting of whatever the outcome is. And so that's another lesson that I've learned this year. With that said, another lesson that I've learned from the rejection is be resilient. Quitters never win. And winners are people who chose not to quit, who failed multiple times even, right? And so be resilient in whatever it is that you do. Force your way through it, but also, if it's not meant to be, let it go, but also try. You know what I mean? Like, don't just give up is what I'm saying. Be resilient. Don't give up is what I've learned this year. Holistically, not just regarding the Optimist stuff. Personally as well, I've had to have this life lesson reinforced into my life and say, girl, you gotta be resilient. And so that is another lesson that I have learned this year. The next lesson that I have learned this year is you cannot escape the cringe phase. Now, I've spoken about this multiple times. The cost of entry is the embarrassment. The cost of entry is the cringe. Sometimes things will feel cringy because they're unfamiliar. But again, in order for something to become a norm, it first becomes uncomfortable, right? And so you cannot escape the cringe, especially if you want to make it in life, wherever that is, whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like. You cannot escape the cringe phase. It's part of the journey. It is part of the process. It is the starting point. It is essential. And so that is one of the lessons that I've learned this year. Another lesson that I've learned this year is show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. No matter how tired, no matter how scared, no matter how unprepared I may feel, when it is time to show up for myself, I have learned that I am dependent on myself. No one is going to make things happen for me. No one is going to come and save me, right? I need to be my own superhero. And so showing up for myself has proven to be one of the lessons that I have learned. Me doing this right now, being on the screen, or rather taking this video, is me showing up for the higher version of myself, for the future version of myself, and the now version of myself, because like I said in a couple of videos, this is what I feel I am called to do and to become. And so no matter how tired I am, no matter how cringe it may feel, no matter how scared I may be, I still need to show up for self. I find that oftentimes it's so easy for us as humans to disappoint ourselves. We have become so comfortable with disregarding our own dreams, visions, and ideas, and disappointing ourselves because, I don't know, do we not value our own potential? Do we not value our current version of self that is yearning for better? I don't know. But truly and honestly, showing up for yourself, nobody else will do it for you. No one is going to do it for you. Okay, so another lesson that I have learned this year is very simple. Walk more. Walk more, move more, dance more. I love moving. I love dancing. Move. Okay, your body will reward you for that. Moving also promotes, or it increases your endorphins. You need that, right? You need that. This boosts your you feel so good, man. You feel so good. So move. Very simple. Another lesson that I've learned this year is someone's urgency is not your emergency. Someone's urgency is not your emergency. I believe this aligns actually with setting boundaries. Look, as soon as someone says, as soon as possible, I don't like it when my nervous system is dysregulated. And so for me, it's as slow as possible. You are actually slowing me down. The minute you say, do it as soon as possible, I don't know about that, because look, your urgency cannot be my emergency. I think the same way, actually. Here's another lesson I've learned, which I think aligns with this. People's bank accounts are not your emergency funds. This one is a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow, because I do believe a couple of times this year I felt like I was a couple of people's emergency funds, until I put a stop to it, and it was so difficult. This is where the no comes in, where I decided to then say, no, I can't do this anymore. So that's another lesson I've learned. Someone's urgency is not your emergency. Yes, help where you can, for sure, but let it not throw you off fully. You know what I mean? Another lesson that I have learned this year is learn to take criticism. Now, this one, funny enough, guys, I really struggle. So when someone is being critical of what I do take it personally because, and I always say this to justify why I take things personally, and that is because when I do something, I do it wholeheartedly. I'm always intentional with whatever it is that I do. I'm always intentional. And so if my intention is not met from the purest form, or, you know, from the goodness of like how I actually intended for it to be, if it doesn't come across as that and it's interpreted as somehow or experienced as, I take it so hard. So this is something that is still ongoing. I am learning to take criticism. I'm learning to see the good in the negative feedback, because my thing is, oh my gosh, I try my best. Like, that was my best. So yeah, that was a big lesson for me this year. Another lesson that I've learned this year is celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Because I find that we oftentimes celebrate the big wins. And look, sometimes I don't know if there are other people who are like me. Even when I accomplish something so big, I don't celebrate like that. You know, it's a, oh yeah, we did that, and then I move on. And so I've learned to learn to celebrate the little things and the big things. It's very important really to give yourself a pat on the back, because guys, we're trying. You know, we are really trying our best here. Okay, another lesson that I've learned this year: ask more questions. So I'm inquisitive by nature. I'm always asking questions, but I just feel like ask more questions. This actually leans to the whole thing of always seek knowledge, always seek to know more, learn more, explore more, expand your mind, and read more. I've been reading. I'm a reader. I think you guys know this on this channel if you are not new. But if you are new to this channel, I'm a reader. I love reading personal self-help books. And so, yeah, just ask more questions, be inquisitive, learn more, expand my knowledge is what I've learned this year. No one can take away what you have learned. No one can take away from you the knowledge that you have gained from just asking. And asking gives you more clarity as well. Really, I think oftentimes, look, even from just the simplest things, as I actually also struggle with asking for help generally. I have a hyper independence personality, I think. This is hugely influenced by my upbringing and whatever, right? Would I say it's a trauma response? I don't know. Look, everything these days apparently is trauma, and I don't know. But my point is, I struggle with asking for help, and so this is where the ask more also, I think, comes in as well. Not only asking more questions, but just ask for help. This is something I'm also gonna really reinforce in 2026 as well. Okay, so another lesson that I have learned this year is go outside. Experience moments and people and things and just live. Life is a series of experiences. And some experiences, yes, are found at home, but they're better outside. Touch the grass. Look up in the sky. When was the last time you literally looked up in the sky and saw the blue skies with the contrast of the white clouds? When was the last time? I find that we are always just hooked on our cellular devices. And we forget to be in the moment, right? And so that is a lesson that I've learned this year, is life is as good outside as it is inside the house. So go out there, meet people, mingle, build connections, network. You never know. Like, you actually never know. And sometimes, honestly, guys, it's the people that we meet that point us into a path that is in alignment with our purposes. You know, they lead us into a direction that is in alignment with our purpose. And so you never know. Sometimes, honestly, the answer to whatever question it is, whatever quest that you're on, is sometimes outside of the house. And so that is another lesson that I've learned this year. And I think I've done pretty well in terms of networking and putting myself out there. As someone who is socially awkward, this year I've really learned to just unmask myself off of that, to unclothe myself off of the garment of shyness and fear, because I've come to realize that being shy is not going to work for me. Shyness is for me paralysis. It makes me paralyzed, like I cannot do anything, because I'm afraid of being perceived in a certain manner. And so I've had to really also let go of that this year as well. Another lesson that I've learned this year is do things alone. Do things alone. Sometimes your friends are not going to be available to go with you. Don't miss out on experiences and things because no one is there to go with you. So do things alone, solo dates. Something that I really struggled with and I slowly started doing. Of course it was uncomfortable because I'm used to being with someone else or other people. But it is necessary to sit with yourself and your thoughts, and also just be in your own company. Being home alone and being in my own company is the best. I have no problem with that. But I think it's outside that made it very uncomfortable. But it is something that I would really encourage even my future self next year to continue doing. And so that is another lesson that I've learned this year. And another lesson that I've learned this year is fall in love with life. Fall in love with life. Romanticize your life. Romanticize your life. You are the main character in your story. Don't act like you are a starring or you're playing a cameo role. You are the main character in your life, and so you need to show up as one. Fall in love with life. Literally, life is working for you and not against you. And so fall in love with it. Bask in the moment that is. Be in the present moment again. Romanticize the things that you do. That just really means be intentional and really just, love what you do and do what you love. Yeah? Okay, another lesson that I've learned this year is love more. Laugh more as well. Love more and allow yourself to be loved. I have struggled with this before for quite some time. I do remember sharing this with a friend of mine in varsity. For quite some time I really felt like I was unworthy of being loved by other people other than my family. And just allow yourself to be loved and love. Yes, it's scary, but do it. There's nothing is more beautiful than love itself in its purest form, receiving it and giving it. And so bask in it, so that's really a big lesson for me. Laugh more as well. Honestly, laughing also releases the feel-good chemicals that just make you feel good. Laugh and enjoy life, man. Again, romanticize everything in your life. That's another lesson I have learned this year. Another lesson that I've learned this year is be an active participant in your life. Act on your goals. So yes, beginning of the year, we all sit down with, not all, but most of us sit down with our journals. We write down our goals, our dreams for the year. We create and we do vision boards. It's a thing. It's a thing, and then life goes on, and we forget. And so, look, biggest lesson this year is do not forget. Do not forget. yourself. Do not forget your goals. Do not disappoint yourself. Another lesson that I've learned this year is do not be too nice with the extra O's. Do not be too nice. People tend to take advantage. Yeah. Look, generally I'm a nice person, but I think I've really had to learn to not be so nice, because people take advantage and it's not nice being taken advantage of. And so stand your ground. Look, yes, be kind for sure. I'm not saying don't have any compassion at all. I still have compassion. I still have kindness within me, but I am stingy with it now. I am not too nice to everybody, you know. Don't be too nice. People take advantage. Be nice still, but don't be too nice. Don't be too nice to a point where you are compromising yourself too much. Yeah. Another lesson that I've learned this year is protect your energy. People are energy vampires out there, guys. Protect your energy. Literally, I've said this a couple of times on this channel. Your energy is your currency. It is your superpower. If people have so much power to influence and to deplete your energy, that is a problem, right? And so protect your energy. And that is in alignment with your happiness, really. If you protect your energy, you are protecting your happiness, and you do things solely for you to feel safe and for you to be happy, then that's all that matters. Because again, if you are safe and you are happy, then you are able to show up as the best version for yourself and for others. And I think it's important to show up as the best version of yourself, for yourself first and for others, because then they get to experience a better you. They get to experience a nicer version of self that is you, as opposed to a version of self that is bending over backwards for people, but is also unhappy and vengeful and you know, all these other negative emotions. And so protect your energy. Another lesson that I've learned this year: be your own blueprint. Be your own. There's a generic blueprint of how life is supposed to be, how life is supposed to feel like, how we're all supposed to be doing life, and by this certain age we're supposed to have this, da 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 da. Be your own blueprint. The only person who's supposed to be a competition is the person that is reflected in the mirror, which is yourself. Whatever aligns with who you are. Yes, I'm not saying we don't have external factors that influence these pressures that we feel, but also it is very important to decide what is for you and what's not for you, right? Don't just go with the flow of, oh, this is supposed to be da 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 at this age, and da da da, I have to have this da da da. So much pressure, so much stress, and we're all just doing life for the first time and all figuring out life as it goes. Life is unfolding for us and with us. And with that said, because life is unfolding with us, we are unknowing of the things that are unfolding. And I think that's the joy of life as well. It's in the unknowing. But yeah, without elongating this video any further, I think I'm gonna give you guys the last one, and that is: being misunderstood is the price of authenticity. Now, your authenticity is your spark. That is your magic. That is your superpower. And so yes, don't want to fit into a box, or don't want to fit in with what everybody else is doing. Stand out. You are a limited edition. It is okay to be different. It is very much okay to be different. We are born to be different. We are meant to. Look, we are different versions of the higher power's creation. As humans, there's multiple versions of how the higher power looks or feels like, right? Because we're all made in the image and the likeness of God, right? And so if all of us as humans are different, even in our ethnic groups, We are meant to be different. We're not meant to look the same. We're not meant to fit in. We're not meant to, we're meant to stand out. And so, yes, be misunderstood. Be the misfit. That is so cool. That is your superpower. That is your authenticity right there. That is your spark. That is your blueprint. And with that said, beautiful soul, I truly hope that today's video, there are some lessons that you learned that that might align with the lessons that you have learned this year, or some that you would like to really work on next year. So please do let me know down in the comment section below what you thought of the video, and if there are any lessons that we share that are in common, and what other lessons you'd like to take into, or rather learn, in 2026. And with that said, beautiful soul, may 2026 be a beautiful, glorious, blissful year for you, filled with so much abundance and prosperity in all the things that your heart longs for and desires. And may you become the greatest and the best version of yourself. And with that said, may goodness and grace lead you to greater heights of success in 2026. Namaste.